Have you fallen into an open manhole recently? Do you find yourself in the company of strangers? Well, then you might very well be in the feature Underground. If past is prologue, my name is Hunter Lanier, and I am here yet again with a brand new movie review of an upcoming movie. This time it is Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. The long-awaited, short-awaited, appropriately awaited return of popcorn movie director Gore Verbinski, who most people probably remember as being the director of the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, but also The Lone Ranger, The Ring, etc. On the surface, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die very much fits into the Gore Verbinski wheelhouse, in that it is a jokey genre movie, destined to play on the AMC channel in hotels everywhere. But there are a few notable ways where it differentiates itself from the rest. I will get to those in a moment, but first let me set the table by giving you the premise of the movie, which will lead into the differences. Sam Rockwell plays a very Sam Rockwell character. He's a fast-talking, fun uncle type. He has come from the future to assemble a team that will help him prevent our future AI overlords from wreaking havoc on humanity and, presumably, good taste. The wrinkle is that he must choose his team from a particular diner. And this is not a diner on a military base. This is not a diner on Mount Olympus. This is just a regular old diner with regular old diner people in it. So when he's choosing his team, he's not choosing from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. He's choosing from school teachers, single mothers, discombobulated 20-somethings. Throw in a trucker and a Tom Waits, and you have your typical diner clientele. To borrow a gaming term, Sam Rockwell's character is trapped in this roguelite scenario where he picks his characters, goes on a run, gets as far as he can, fails, then starts back again from scratch with new knowledge to form a new strategy to help him get farther on his next run. All right, so a man comes back from the future to save the world from AI. Not the most original concept. Except now AI isn't an army of murderous robots, but rather something more insidious, more corrosive to our humanity. A change that is a reflection of AI's real-world progress and how our fears around it have changed. But that's not the only thing that's changed. For a movie that has a summer blockbustery feel to it, even though it's coming out in the usually dead month of winter, of February, it's a much darker and more topical movie than I was expecting. And when I say topical, it's not topical in a showy, like I read the newspapers kind of topical. It's topical in a satirical, poking the bear kind of way. Now, when I say that, the movie isn't at Eddington levels of that. But, for example, there is an entire school shooting storyline in this movie that is played for satire. It's played for laughs. It's not, getting on a pedestal and spouting emotional platitudes. It's taking a really sardonic perspective on how a society ends up in a certain place and then where it goes from there. I was going to say all of this isn't the kind of thing you would expect a big studio to put out, but then I looked it up. I was like, okay, which big studio is it? And there is no big studio. So that explains that. There not being a big studio producing this film also tracks with another thing that I was pleasantly surprised with. Another subversion, which is that the movie has a bit of a unique structure. It's not a linear movie. This movie, I would say, even spends perhaps half of its runtime going backwards rather than forwards. You spend a lot of time in these flashbacks getting to know the individual characters that Sam Rockwell chooses for his team. In that same vein, the movie also doesn't rely on big special effects. This isn't Pirates of the Caribbean. This isn't The Lone Ranger. This movie is, I wouldn't even call it an action-adventure movie. It's, I think, intentionally much more in the style of a zombie movie. in that we're following a group of regular people who are not exceptional in any way, and they are trying to survive in an environment that wants to kill them. And they spend a lot of time hiding and sneaking around. So this is a kind of big genre movie, but it's mostly just people talking in rooms. So yes, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die avoids many of the genre trappings that have other movies like this one feeling much more like perfunctory cash grabs. It actually makes an effort to try to stand out, and for that, I salute it. On the other hand, it's not exceptionally funny, and it doesn't really have anything insightful to say about AI or technology. Yes, it mocks people's degrading obsession with their phones, but I need more from a movie than just to agree with who it chooses to target. As a quick aside, I'm not really even on board with this intense AI doomerism. There are people today I think there are a lot of people today that would gladly just pull the plug on AI right now. And I think a lot of that pushback comes from the creative community, but the creative aspects of AI, to me, is the least interesting and important part about it. I think the benefits of AI, such as accelerating medical research, are going to far outweigh the negatives, as new technologies tend to do. We can say the internet has caused a lot of issues, but I think it's safe to call the internet a net positive. And you know what? For a cure to cancer, I will gladly accept AI slop playing on a billboard as I drive by it at 150 miles per hour in my future car. As I said before, it seems like a lot of this pushback is coming from the creative community, and also just the usual older generations that never want anything to change. In every generation, there will always be the previous one that resents anything that was not present during their college years. But I feel confident in promising you right now that there is not a future where AI replaces human artists. I think humans will always want things made by humans. We naturally lend toward authenticity, or at least we will pay a premium for it. It's why we pay the Amish more for furniture than we pay IKEA. To the extent that AI is currently being used to create art, like with that Darren Aronofsky thing, I think it's purely experimental novelty. I don't think it will last. And remember, Aronofsky, this is the same guy that made that movie for the Sphere in Vegas. So I think he's someone that just likes to play with new toys. That's me giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now I do believe that AI meddling with the art world will get worse before it gets better. I can definitely see Disney releasing an AI short film or an AI movie or something. But if they do that and there's a huge backlash and no one buys tickets for it, then they won't do it again. If they make Toy Story 6 using AI and it makes $1 billion, well, they're going to keep doing it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overestimating how people will use their disposable income. I guess we'll have to see. But to put a cap on the movie, it's better than you would expect a movie like this to be. But the thing is, that's just not saying much. I think its willingness to engage with some modern taboos is admirable, but I do think it's destined to be one of those movies that people catch the last 40 minutes of as they scarf down their third continental breakfast. Well, those are all my thoughts on Have Fun, Good Luck, Don't Die. Now is the time for you to let me know your thoughts on my thoughts. Next up, I believe I will be seeing the new Baz Luhrmann Elvis concert film movie coming out in IMAX. I actually just got back from a road trip in Mississippi where I went to Tupelo, the place where Elvis was born. I saw his home. I saw where he was born. I saw his church. I walked the hills that Elvis walked. So I am fully prepared to ingest this concert film. Until then, I leave you with the inescapable truth that every day underground is a good day.